This is a 1987 Mark II Golf Turbo Diesel CL. And this is my 1987 Mark II Golf Turbo Diesel CL. I've had this thing since around February 2017, and I paid £300 for it after seeing it listed on Facebook in a sorry state. Unfortunately, I didn't get the car for £300 with the heck blend and the lights. That would have been nice, but the guy wanted extra for those. This car confused me for quite a few years. That was until I stumbled across this magazine for this exact model and its year at a local auto jumble, and I picked it up for 50p. I think the reason that not a lot of these are left today is Volkswagen probably didn't sell a lot of them in the UK when they were new. Diesel cars were still a fairly new technology, and the turbo diesel version was a whole £2 more than the normal CL. With the addition of the turbo to the diesel engine, the brake horsepower of this car went from 54 to 70, only 5 brake horsepower less than the same size petrol engine. The car weighs roughly the same as a GTI, and Volkswagen made 30 changes to the engine for the turbo version, which include a tougher alloy for the cylinder head, different materials for the valves and valve seats for greater heat resistance, strengthened piston pins, an exhaust manifold made of high temperature steel, an oil cooler, and modifications to the oil system itself. Originally, I assumed this car came from the factory with the plastic arch trims, the 16-valve splitter, and the front GTI grille, as well as the GTD rear badge, but this magazine states otherwise. This car would have been a basic CL from factory, other than the turbo diesel badged grille, which I managed to find on eBay, and that will be fitted at some point. Those of you outside the UK will probably be familiar with the GTD model and badge, but it was never available here as a GTD, just a CL turbo diesel, until the release of the official GTD in 1991. I've not done a whole lot with this car in my ownership, mostly due to the fact that the only thing that makes this car rare is the early turbo diesel engine, which is sadly no longer working and it smokes like a chimney. I've only ever seen 2 other UK spec CL turbo diesels in the 4 years I've had this car. Those were both on the internet. Finding the proper original engine for this car is near impossible. The later TD engine is available, but part of me feels bad about replacing this engine with the incorrect spec. Aside from the fact this engine is absolutely cooked, this thing has its fair share of rust also. It's been sitting for more than 20 years, and I've polished it a few times in the past, but then it just sits again through summer and soon returns back to its normal faded state. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this car just yet. It's been pushed to the back of the queue because I've got the white Mark II that I need to get back on the road first. I've also got my Volvo 340 which has its issues, which also needs to be put back on the road. But it would be nice for this thing to be roadworthy again. It's been off the road over 20 years, it was sat in a field for years. But it'd be nice to just fix all its rust issues, source a new engine for it. If it has to be a later GTD engine, at least the car's still being put back on the road. I've not had a look underneath the car yet, so it could be completely gone, but it would be nice to just make this thing roadworthy, maybe keep the paint the way it is, and just use it for what it is. Park it in car parks next to cars and not have to worry about old ladies dinging your doors because you've got this nice 30-year-old classic. It'd just be nice to just use the car for what it is and still have something cool that I can drive about.